In this presentation, we review Bird's current strategic position, the challenges facing the organization mainly around business growth and expansion, and provide recommendations for their future. Bird is currently looking to grow its business and turn itself into a profit-making organization while maintaining its status as #1 electric scooter firm in the world. Bird is a dockless electric scooter sharing company based in California, operating in over 100 cities in Europe, Middle East, and North America with over 10 million rides in its first year of operations. Bird was founded in September 2017 by Travis, a former executive at Lyft and Uber. It had its Series A round in February 2018, raising $15 million led by Craft Ventures. This was followed by a Series B round in March 2018, raising a total of $100 million, which was led by Index Ventures. Bird then had another round of funding in May 2018 for $150 million from Sequoia Capital, becoming the fastest company to ever reach the $1 billion unicorn valuation. In January 2019, Bird announced Series C funding attracting a total of $300 million and attained a valuation of $2 billion. In June 2019, Bird acquired Scoot Networks for an undisclosed amount. The acquisition allows Bird to officially operate shared electric scooters in San Francisco. As at the time of this presentation, Bird is valued at around $2.5 billion and currently raising Series D round to fund its global expansion. Bird's business model is based on using shared electric scooter for their rental service. The price for the service is calculated based on the time the scooter is used and charged to the user's credit card at the end of the ride.
Bird has positioned itself within the micromobility industry as a company that provides dockless electric scooters and bicycles predominantly for ride-sharing applications. Bird strategically places its e-scooters at American universities to enable cheap, convenient transportation for students and in metropolitan cities globally to satisfy last-mile transportation needs.
Examining the Porter's five forces for the e-scooter industry, we can see that medium supplier power, which is decreasing, coupled with medium threat of new entry, high threat of substitution, and high buyer power, leads to an overall high competitive rivalry. This means that Bird needs to find ways to both differentiate itself and to provide diversification to its product lineup.
This slide presents an activity map which shows how internal activities in each department within Bird supports the company's strategic positioning. It provides information on how activities within each department provides a synergy for Bird's position as a company that deals in high quality, innovative, technological enhanced e-scooters. The main synergy point for Bird is around the company's internal technological capability and its unique approach to marketing and sales, as well as its ability to provide standout after-sales service.
As Mayowa mentioned, Bird has raised total funding of $565 million US. However, their financial health is not at its best. They suffered a loss of $100 million in 2018, and they're now looking for another $300 million to fund an international expansion. They also acquired another e-scooter company, Scoot, just a couple of months ago. On the right-hand side of the slide, you can see a unit economic breakdown of what scooters cost and how much they need to be used in order to break even and then become profitable.
This slide presents further information about Bird using the SWOT analysis framework. Bird has key strengths as pioneers in the e-scooter business, and as a company, Bird has strong company values. Bird's key weaknesses include the fact that Bird is currently a loss-making firm and continues to rely on funding rounds. Key opportunities for Bird exist in terms of opportunities for global expansion and opportunities for partnership with government, cities, corporates, law enforcement, and universities. Threats to Bird survival include threats from competitors and also threats from the fact that there are issues with legislative framework for e-scooter operation in various countries.
We propose a strategic approach for Bird that focuses on diversification through the following 4 ways. First is government partnerships. Second, public transportation partnerships. Third, universities, corporations, and law enforcement partnerships. And then finally, automotive manufacturer integration. One way that Bird can differentiate itself from competitors is to partner with governments. This provides at least the following 4 benefits. First is it provides empowerment to the citizens. Secondly, it allows reduction of emissions within the cities and towns. Third, it provides employment for less fortunate. And fourth, it allows the governments to control the size of the fleets within their jurisdiction. A second way Bird can differentiate itself from competitors is to partner with public transport agencies to implement docked e-scooter sharing systems similar to existing bicycle sharing systems. Bird can contract with the transport agency for operation and maintenance of the e-scooters. Docking stations will be provided by a specialty contractor that has experience with bicycle sharing systems. The e-scooters will be accessible through a docking station kiosk, a mobile app, or membership key fob. The public transport agencies will generate revenue from sponsorship contracts with companies wanting to place advertisements on the e-scooters and docking stations.
Here we provide some information around the key strategic approach Bird can adopt to partner with universities, corporations, and law enforcement. As a firm, Bird can put together sales, service, and maintenance contracts, which it could be adopted as a means of partnership with these organizations. Also, Bird can leverage the fact that they're able to brand e-scooters and customize the fleet to these corporations and to universities. Also, the fact that Bird has this Bird app, which is a technology that can be leveraged to maximize the user experience for e-scooters, and also the fact that Bird has a key footprint in terms of sustainability and environmental impact will be a good selling point for Bird's e-scooters.
Another way Bird can differentiate itself is to expand into consumer products through partnering with automobile manufacturers. This offering should be limited to electric vehicles only. This option will require Bird to make some changes to its existing product design used for the rental markets. Changes include fast charging functionality and making the scooter collapsible so that it can fit into trunks of small cars. As a result, users can charge their scooters at the same time the car is being charged. Bird make quality scooters which are more durable, better optimized for ride experience, have extended ride range, and better suspension compared to other electric scooters on the market, including those by Xomi and Segway. Quality of their product will make them a partner of choice for automobile manufacturers such as Tesla, Audi, and Nissan to leverage each other's brand name to expand their mobility solution offerings. We believe this will benefit both parties and provide sustainable transportation means to reduce traffic congestions and carbon emissions, and offer more cost-effective ways in accessing central parts of cities that impose congestion charges such as London. This means car users traveling long distance into congested cities can drive their cars to a convenience point just outside the city, park their cars, and use the electric scooter to commute into the city to conduct their business or sightseeing.
We propose the following 6 simple rules for Bird to adopt moving forward. Number 1. Offer what competitors cannot. Number 2. Invisibility is the ultimate goal. Scooters should be perceived no differently than bicycles and automobiles. Number 3. Proactively seek collaboration with governments. 4. Keep social awareness at the forefront of our strategy. Number 5. Minimize environmental impact. And number 6. Customer safety always comes first.
There were 2 cases from the course that we feel best connect to our Bird project. The first one being Husky. Like Husky, Bird is looking to understand whether true product differentiation in terms of quality will actually increase its market share, or whether quality differentiation will not matter as much as cost differentiation and therefore only add to the variable costs. The second case is Uber. Like Uber, Bird is constantly warring with governments who are making regulations only to catch up with the current technology being implemented in their cities, instead of working proactively with these governments to sculpt regulation to protect both the consumers and Bird as a company. It's making the exact same decision, or facing the same decision as Uber did. Should it accept the new regulations and potentially drop out of expensive markets like it recently has in Raleigh, North Carolina? Or should it continue to operate knowing that the regulations may come at a later date and then be forced to pay out fines and deal with court cases?
To implement these strategies, we propose the following timeline to execute our recommendations. These recommendations will help increase Bird's differentiation from other competitors such as Lime and Skip scooters that are rapidly eating into their market share. We propose to begin selling electric scooters to corporations and law enforcement agencies by end of 2019, giving them enough time to set up contracts and agreements. Bird can start lobbying for cooperative regulations on urban use of scooters from early 2020, especially in cities where they have experienced resistance from city governments, such as San Francisco and Seattle. Next will be to release docking stations to cities that purchases their fleets from end of first quarter in 2020. By mid-2020, Bird should be in position to commence signing contracts with automobile manufacturers to place charging docks in storage areas within their electric vehicles. Finally, by September 2020, Bird should be able to release new scooter models compatible with docking stations around cities and in vehicles storage areas.
There are a few risks that we came up with in relation to our strategic recommendations to Bird. The first being, safety of e-scooters is a concern to cities. The city governments want to protect their citizens from what they sometimes view as a dangerous product. There are 2 potential solutions to this. The first being a mandatory safety quiz prior to customers actually using the scooters. This has been implemented by other scooter companies throughout the world and has shown to drastically reduce customer injury. The second is when Bird is selling fleets to provide free helmets along with those fleets, which buyers can then mandate that their users put on before riding the scooters. The second risk is that new data suggests lower environmental benefit of e-scooters. So the first solution would be to focus on pairing e-scooters with electric automobiles. The second, to mandate that scooter chargers, the people who drive around picking up scooters and charge them before placing them back out, use hybrids or fully electric vehicles. And lastly, auto manufacturers typically take around 5 years to move from concept to production. So to mitigate this risk, Bird should look to partner with efficient manufacturers like Tesla, who turn around new features in under a year. They should also create charging docks for e-scooters which fit in with existing vehicle designs, therefore reducing the necessity of new product design before vehicles launch.